Hello. So I wanted to answer a question I often get asked, and it's how long is it going to take for me to recover from my trauma? Great question. And I got to say, it doesn't happen overnight, obviously. It takes a lot of time. Everyone is different, everyone heals in their own way, but you have to know that you have everything in you and you have the capacity to heal. And so, no matter how long it takes, working on it and progressing towards bettering yourself is like already amazing. Most people don't even do that. And so, why are we here if it's not to grow and heal, right? And turn that pain into like wisdom so that we can pass it on. Not to focus too much on this question, but there is 8 aspects that will make it harder or easier for you, or take longer. It will take longer for you to recover. So the first thing is when the trauma occurred. So the younger you were when you were abused, the more of a core wound it will be, and the more ingrained or the more imprints it will leave. And so that's harder to get rid of. But with neuroplasticity, we can rewire our brains, and there's nothing that we can't overcome. But just to know, the younger you were, the harder it is to heal from it. Number 2, how long the abuse went on for. If you were abused a couple of times within a couple of days versus being abused for years, obviously being abused for years is going to take longer to work through it. Third thing, whether there is any additional or ongoing trauma. So if you're still in trauma and being traumatized and you're in an environment that's toxic, it's going to be very hard to heal, obviously. And like, for example, for me, I was doing so good before the pandemic. I was getting so great at, calming and relaxing my central nervous system. And so I was a lot calmer, and I felt like healing was progressing much better. And now fast forward, and through the pandemic and everything we went through and speaking out, and so much more trauma has come on, and I'm still under attack. And so obviously it's a lot harder when you're still in it. And so I am now learning to relax my central nervous system and regulating myself in traumatic and unsafe environment. But obviously that takes a lot more time and a lot more work, and that's okay. The fourth thing that can cause for you to that will affect how long it will take for you to heal is whether you were believed when you spoke out or not. It's actually said that there are many survivors that say that what happened after the abuse was actually more traumatic than the abuse itself. And so if you were abused and you spoke out and you had someone to protect you and take care of you and, make sure that you were safe, then that won't have the same impact as if you spoke out and you weren't believed and you felt like you were alone in the world and it's dangerous out there, right? So that would affect how long it takes to recover. Number 5, how much trauma has accumulated, right? And so, for example, sometimes there's more trauma that accumulates even after if we don't do the work when it occurs. And so, for example, I was sexually abused, and there was, a physical and emotional abuse at home. And then I went on and, was on the street and was begging, and other things happened there. I was raped on the streets. I married someone who was abusive, and so I experienced domestic violence after that. And so, more and more has accumulated. Obviously, if I had done my work and not gone through all that, it would be faster for me to heal. Number 6, whether the survivor finds a therapist that has extensive knowledge. If you go to a therapist and what they do is like they listen to you talk, but they don't really give you tools and knowledge, and they put you on medication, which disconnects you even more. And I always say trauma is anything that disconnects you from yourself. And if you're already disconnected and taking a pill, that will numb you, then that'll disconnect you even more. That is not to say that there's no time and place for it if you're in a crisis for the short term, but we want to learn how to get to the root cause and, deal with the underlying issues if we want to heal. Number 7, the survivor's temperament. Temperament? I'm not saying that right, but you know what I mean. Well, that would affect it, right? If I'm someone that doesn't really want to do the work, but I'm doing it slow, maybe because I have to, it's different than if I really want to do the work and I'm motivated and really into it. Obviously, the person that's all excited may heal faster. And last but not least, whether the survivor has a good support network. Do you have friends, family, that are supporting you in your healing, or are they not supporting you? And so if you don't have someone, support groups are great for this part. And y'all know I run a really great support group called Heal Program. And so I can really help you with that. And so those are the 8 things that can, that will decide whether, how long it takes you to heal or not. There's really no specific timeline, as I said, and you shouldn't judge yourself in that way. I always say healing is a lifetime journey. Trauma is a part of life, and we transcend that into wisdom and pass it on to the next generations. And that's what life is all about. And so if we're not here to do that, then what are we here for if we're not growing? But yeah, I hope that helped out. Let me know if there's other things that you think that would make it maybe longer or shorter to heal. I would love to hear them, and I hope this helps. And let me know if you want more of these videos. Love you all. Peace.